Previously, you may remember this happening. I took the slave cylinder out and then blew it with some air, and you can see straight away that there's something wrong with these two seals here. So I cleaned it all up and had a look inside, and it's clean inside. There's no sharp edges that I can see. And this piece here, you can see clearly that it's kind of just missing, like something happened to that when they put it in at the time. Don't know where it came from, but I need new seals, so I've ordered them online. So I'm going to be putting in transmission oil for the first time. I use this brand and this particular product because I've been using it forever, and someone told me once to use it and it hasn't let me down. It's 3.5 litres, and you just fill it up to the top till it comes out. I washed everything down, and then the next day just made sure that there was nothing leaking. I've loosened the radiator bleed screw and then filled up the radiator itself with water just to check for any leaks, and sure enough, I've got some leaks here, as you can see by my convenient viewing panel. I'm just going through the rest of the car to make sure there's no other leaks, and I can definitely see obviously here, but nothing else is leaking, which is good news. Now that I've lowered the car, I can see there's water coming from around this area here. Maybe this pipe is leaking, but I'm going to get a camera in there and have a closer look to what's actually going on. And here's the problem: the pipe here has a leak, and this connects to the heater core tap. The hot water comes from here and then goes inside the car behind the driver near the spare wheel, then down the tunnel, and then joins here and then connects all the way back to the heater tap itself. I'm removing the handbrake so I can get better access, and behind here you can see the rubber hose connects to the metal pipe, which goes from here all the way back to the heater tap. I'm disconnecting the selector rod and the gear stick for better access to the tunnel. Then removing the support which covers the tunnel and the handbrake itself. So here's a view inside the tunnel with everything removed. I'm disconnecting the heater input and the heater output so I can use a wet and dry vacuum cleaner to suck out any water that's in the system before I remove the pipe. I'm connecting another rubber hose here to a bucket, and I'm just going to blow some air through the system to make sure that all the water's been removed. I'm using a punch to center the 8 spot welds that hold the pipe in place, and then proceeded to drill them out. It was quite easy. Now to loosen the clamp that goes to the heater tap, and then of course the one underneath the handbrake itself. It was quite difficult to get off, but I just had to keep moving it back and forth like this, and it loosened up and came off. And now I can pull back the rusty old pipe here and push it out the back of the tunnel. And then from underneath the car, I just pulled out the pipe. This side of the pipe goes to the heater tap, and here's the little hole that was leaking. You can see here it's got a bracket that has 4 spot welds, and another one further down which has another 2 spot welds, and then again at the end another 2 spot welds, and then a rusty piece at the end. I'm just flushing out the rubber hose, and I connected this garden hose to the rubber hose and just flushing it out and blowing some air through it as well. So I popped into the local Fiat dealer, and as you can see I've got a pipe here which is too big, and then I've got a pipe over here which is a little bit too small, but it's going to do the job. The heater works pretty well, and I'm pretty happy that will just do the job fine. I'm now bending the pipe to the same shape as the existing one that was in the car. It's close, it's not exactly right, but it's pretty good. I'm using these saddles here which I found in the same section, which will fit into the car quite nicely. As the new pipe is a little bit smaller, I'm cutting off a piece of the old pipe here so I can put it on the end of the new pipe to make it a bit bigger for the hose clamps. I've cleaned out the debris, but I'm also going to leave it in some rust converter for a few hours just to really clean it up, and as you can see it's come out really well. And just for the record, the pipe size of the original one is 16 mils on the outside and then about 14 on the inside. The new one on the outside is about 12.5. and on the inside it's about 10 or 10.5. I'm keying up the inside of the pipe for the bonding agent, and as well as the outside of the copper pipe as well. I'm now just mixing up the bonding agent, which will bond metal to metal and will seal it off from water as well. By sleeving the old pipe over the new pipe, it's given me the correct diameter for the hose clamps. And now to feed the new pipe into the tunnel, with everything removed, it's actually quite easy. I'm now connecting the pipe back to the heater box and then back to the engine so I can do some more testing for any water leaks. I'm now doing a test by pressurizing the system to see if there's any water leaks, and I don't find any, which is great. A little bit of hand contortion to get these saddles in place and then pop riveted them in. I've attached the new saddles almost in the same location as the original brackets. I've then attached the water pipes and filled up the expansion tank. I'm going to leave the car for about a week and see if I have any leaks. So a week goes by and I come back to this. There's just water all over the floor. It makes really no sense because the overflow tank is full, the system is full, but there's still water everywhere and I just can't figure out where it's come from. The garage door got jammed and subsequently pushed itself into the fire sprinkler system and then activated all the water, as you can see here, and then proceeded to fill up my garage entirely at the bottom. Nothing was damaged, but it did leave me a surprise with all that water. But next time, I'll work on the steering column and the radiator front grille.